All right, well, good morning. It really is like the first day of class where we welcome our new dean on this historic day for Oxford College. I'm Greg Fenves, president of Emory University, and it is great to see so many of our students here, even in the summer. Thank you for being here. And of course, the faculty and the staff at Oxford College. So many dedicated alumni, and I'll introduce or name a few of those. Friends of Oxford College, and Oxford College is in this wonderful community in Newton County, and to see local leaders, government leaders, business leaders, civic leaders here, this important institution in Newton County is just wonderful to see. And speaking of that, I want to welcome Oxford Mayor David Eady. Mayor, raise your hand so we can all see you here, right? Mayors like to be at events like this because they run for re-election. We have city leaders here and also Newton County leaders. I want to thank you all for being here. Now, Oxford College Alumni Board is so essential to this college, so I want to was chatting with President Michael Severio, and of course the College Board of Counselors who are here, and I think I'm getting everybody. Michelle Bryant-Johnson. Michelle, it was great to see you here again today. Dirk Brown, you're at every event at Oxford and Emory. Art Vinson, and Professor Emerita Judy Greer. So let's give the Oxford Board of Counselors a big round of applause. Well, we are here to welcome our new dean, who we'll introduce in just a moment. But before doing that, I want to thank the current dean of Oxford College, Emory Dean Ken Carter. Ken, stand up. Give Ken a round of applause. So Ken, you've done an amazing job in a year of transition, a year of change. You are, of course, so loyal and dedicated to Oxford College, a longtime alum, longtime faculty member, and you have done it, and you still are smiling. So that is a credit to the way you've approached everything you've done for Oxford and for Emory. So thank you for stepping up into this important role as we make this transition. Now, we went through a search, and searches are very important to identify who is the right person at this time for what Oxford College needs. And like searches at universities, especially looking for a new dean, we had a search committee, a search advisory committee that was chaired by a fellow dean, Jan Love of our Candler School of Theology, and co-chaired by a faculty member at Oxford, Molly McGehee. So Molly, I haven't seen you there. You're right in the front. Okay, front row. Thank you, Molly, for co-chairing the committee. And I want to thank all the members of the search advisory committee who were here. So let me say a little bit about Oxford College. So I'm still relatively new. I've been here 3 years, and when we moved in August or July of 2020, anybody remember the summer of 2020? We want to forget it, but it was the summer of 2020, dealing with the early decisions and issues with COVID-19. Been president of Emory for about 3 weeks, and drove over here to see Oxford College because I had read about it, I'd heard about it, but there's nothing like Oxford College. I wanted to see it in person. So my wife Carmela and I came out here in third week of August 2020. And we spent the day with the students who were on campus, the faculty who were here, met many of the staff. In fact, we had an event right on this stage, wearing masks, sitting 6 feet apart, all the COVID protocols. And at the end of the day, preparing to go to a dinner where I met many of the Oxford Board of Counselors members, walking across this beautiful quad and thinking, if I were going to go to college again, this is where I'd want to go to college. And it is such a unique place. And it is unique in American higher education. There is no other university that has 2 opportunities to achieve a college degree. And this unique opportunity at Oxford, where a student can come here, get a intense, deep liberal arts education, a residential liberal arts education in this wonderful community, and use that as a base for an undergraduate degree from a great research university. And so to be able to do both of those things at one school, there is no other place like Oxford College. So we have very high ambitions at Emory for Oxford College, and we had very high ambitions and expectations for the next dean of Oxford College, finding the right person who recognizes Oxford's distinctive strengths, its strong sense of community, of course, which is demonstrated by the turnout this morning, and can set the goalpost even higher than what they have been. And it was a very competitive process. Our provost will say a few words about the search, but we'll cut to the end. And this is the moment to announce and welcome our new dean of Oxford College, Dr. Badiya Ahad. So Badiya. So you'll hear from Badiya in just a few moments, but she is coming from Loyola University in Chicago, where she currently serves as the Vice Provost for Faculty Affairs and is a professor of English. She's an acclaimed academic leader, but also a scholar, and has demonstrated her commitment to helping students and faculty thrive. Badiya has launched and supported initiatives to create experiential learning and interdisciplinary learning opportunities for students at Loyola, which is a perfect fit for what you all are doing at Oxford College with this concept of engaged learning and our broader commitment at Emory University to student flourishing. And as you will see this morning, and as you will get to know her after she starts here August 1st, you'll find that she's brilliant, warm, engaging, herself a lifelong learner, and an avid golfer. So you're in golf heaven. You and Nate are in golf heaven. And I have to introduce her husband and partner, Nate Lagarde. Nate, where are you? All the way in the back. Okay, so this is what I guess a spouse of a dean does. But we're going to welcome Nate just as we welcome Badiya to Emory. So with that, I want to get on with the program. I'm going to call up our Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, our Provost, our Chief Academic Officer, the one who works most closely with all our deans, including the Dean of Oxford College, Dr. Ravi Bellamkonda.
Thank you, President Fenves. It's just wonderful to see this room, so much positive energy. And it's just wonderful not just to see our faculty, our staff, our students, but so many alumni and friends and also members of the community, as Greg mentioned. Greg often talks about the importance of place, both on the Emory Atlanta campus as well as here, and this turnout signifies that. In fact, in his strategic framework, he always talks about the one thriving with the other, always alongside. And certainly Newton County, Oxford, and Covington are so important to us. And just I'm delighted to see this community coming together to welcome Dr. Ahad and Nate in the back. But I will tell you this, although it is not something that we were explicitly looking for, but in Dr. Ahad and Nate, we have two people who have demonstrated records of deeply engaging with the community. And you will get to know them yourself. I think Nate serves on the school board, does a whole bunch of things in the community, as does Dr. Ahad. And so I think this is going to be a wonderful thing for not just Oxford College and Emory, but also for this region and the community. As Greg was saying, the search for a dean is an interesting thing. It's a way for us to tell the world what we are looking for and see what the reaction of the world is. And in this case, under President Fenwez's leadership, there is a certain buzz, I believe, that something's happening at Emory, particularly at Oxford. And we had an extraordinary response to our call for the new dean. So we had a difficult meeting narrowing that down to about 10 semifinalists, and then we had 4 finalists visit. But all through the search process, it was very clear that Dr. Ahad had something special to offer. And one of the things we were asking all the applicants was, we think of Oxford College as Emory's origin story, where we began, where our roots are, where our values were crafted and created for the entire university that set the tone for the incredible place that Emory has become as a world-renowned, widely recognized research university rooted in the liberal arts. And when we were going on this journey, we wanted to ask what would need to be true for that script to be flipped, where Oxford represented in its student-centeredness, its roots in liberal arts, in its faculty-scholar model dedicated to teaching, for it to represent Emory's future and informs the rest of Emory on how to do this wonderful thing of being stewards of our students really well. And we couldn't do that work and ask of Oxford to take us on that journey as a whole university, but for the work that's already been done by Dean Carter, Doug Hicks, the entire faculty staff, alumni. So I'm very grateful that thanks to the work that's gone on, and on that foundation, Dr. Ahad will take us on a journey. And the journey is possible because we have already fantastic faculty, fantastic staff, fantastic students, and an alumni and a community that is ready and poised to go on this journey. But all of those elements need to be activated by something special. And that's where I believe leadership comes in. And in Dr. Ahad, we have an incredible leader joining this community. As I said, there's a certain element of fit the minute we started interacting with Dr. Ahad and the search committee, and we'll hear from Molly in a second. She has all the relevant experience to be a fantastic leader. She was in charge of Loyola University's core curriculum. This is the set of experiences that Loyola curates as a Jesuit institution dedicated to undergraduate education. Curates that are critical skills for undergraduates to have, any undergraduate experiencing Loyola. And she was in charge of that whole project. And when I was speaking to references, because we do extensive referencing in the process, they all told us, all of them, about how caring, how dedicated she was. Faculty generally get worked up about curriculum, so if you don't know. So she was able to bring consensus around the mission of taking care of students, and that's something that was very relevant and important for us as an Oxford dean. She also has a lot of experience with faculty and trying to find common purpose, empathy, and building a culture, and this was also evident in the referencing. And she's also served as a national coach for faculty, not just for faculty at Loyola, but from across the country. And so she's very experienced working with faculty. And I think what makes all this work for Dr. Ahad, and I think you'll see that when she speaks to you shortly, is that she's very grounded and speaks and comes from a certain authentic place with purpose. And all great leaders have one quality that she also has in great abundance, which is a sense of optimism about the future, a sense of seeing the good in others. And that's one of the things that stood out. Not just in her personal quality, but also in her research. As Greg alluded to, she's a renowned scholar of African American literature and culture, and her research sits at the intersection of cultural studies and positive psychology, speaking of optimism. And the idea is that this is a field that is grounded in the idea of social good and flourishing, that these two concepts are at the core of flourishing of human beings. She's the author of a book called The Afro-Nostalgia, Feeling Good in Contemporary Black Culture, which looks at the past as a building block for a more affirming future. And she has described this as a work built on a deep sense of hope for the future. So I'm excited for Oxford and its future under Dr. Ahad's leadership. And I think she really, truly appreciates the Oxford and Emory's special sauce of a holistic approach to student learning and development. And she cares deeply about the community and all of the people. So I know you're eager to hear from her directly, but before we do that, I do want to invite Molly McGahey to come up, who played a critical leadership role in leading us to this moment. And I really appreciate Dr. McGahey, who's the Associate Dean of Faculty Development and Professor of English and American Studies. She co-chaired the search along with Dean Jan Love. Thank you, Molly, for all that you do for our community. And I'd like to hear from Molly a little bit, and then we'll hear from Dr. Ahad. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Bellam-Conda. Thank you, President Fenves. Good morning, Oxford friends. Thank you for making time to be here on such a special day as we welcome and introduce Dr. Bediah Ahad as the next Dean of Oxford College. It's been my sincere honor and pleasure to serve as the co-chair of the Search Advisory Committee this year, alongside Jan Love, who is the Dean of the Candler School of Theology. I want to thank Dean Love for her incredible leadership as the chair, and also express my gratitude to members of our committee who, read many applications, discussed at length many candidates, spent many hours on Zoom, and offered thoughtful questions and guidance along the way. If you were on the committee, if you just raise your hand if you're here today, I see Kevin and some others. Thank you. We owe enormous gratitude as well to Ellen Brown Landers and the team at the Heidrick and Struggles search firm. Their diligent hard work resulted in a pool of exceptional candidates, and also led to those candidates being excited to come to Oxford and meet us and being very well prepared to do so. A note of gratitude as well to Melissa Daly in the Office of the Provost for helping shepherd us. Hi, Melissa. Thank you so much for helping us shepherd us through this process. So many emails to Melissa, and I'm sorry, and I'm also thankful, so thank you. And lastly, to Sarah Dobbs, who, for all she did to organize the campus visits, to make them run smoothly, and even allow for a little bit of fun along the way. And also to those of you who met the candidates when they were on campus, thank you for your time. And the feedback that you shared to Provost Bellam-Conda, which is feedback that I think he would say directly informed his and President Fenves' selection of Dr. Ahad as our next dean. So thank you for reading that and taking that so seriously. And wow, what an excellent choice they did make. You all should know that from the beginning of the application review period, Bediah Ahad stood out. Her cover letter and CV reflected an impressive range of experiences as a teacher scholar, faculty developer, senior administrator, and community citizen. Her subsequent Zoom interview showcased further her deep appreciation for liberal arts learning, for interdisciplinarity, which I of course love, her sincere commitment to having diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging be at the heart of all that we do, and is crucial for the flourishing of students and faculty and staff. And finally, her on-campus interview, well, that just sealed the deal. Her clear visioning or valuing of Oxford's mission, her love of teaching, her sincere appreciation for the contributions of staff to the academic enterprise, her preparedness, her thoroughness, her genuineness, her humility, all of this added up to equal Bediah Ahad as dean. And I just want to say, by the way, that the name Bediah means original creation, unique, admirable, unprecedented, which sounds an awful lot like Oxford College itself. So ahead of us are many opportunities, and as you all know, we find ourselves in the midst of many challenges within and beyond higher education. Bediah has the creativity, experience, skills, and energy to help us seize those opportunities and confront those challenges. I know she can count on the community here to support her every step of the way. So on behalf of the Search Advisory Committee, whose work is now complete, congratulations to the unique, admirable, and unprecedented Dean Badia Ahad, and welcome to Oxford College. Thank you.
And now, please join me in welcoming Dean Ahad to come up and share a few words. Thank you.
That was incredibly special. Thank you so much. I am overjoyed to be here, and I have to say, Nathan and I just keep talking about how appreciative and excited we are to become a part of this community and to really make this our home. So thank you. We look forward to working with you, but also to having you as neighbors. So that's very exciting for us. So thank you, President Fenves, Provost Belankanda, Dr. McGeehee, for your kind words and for the many, many ways that you've welcomed me and Nathan to this community. I want to say thank you to the members of the Dean Search Committee, the Board of Counselors, and alumni community who are joining us today, as well as the friends of the community who are here. I want to especially thank Interim Dean Kenton Carter. You were my very first meeting for my campus visit, and you set the bar, certainly. I still can't believe everyone is so nice, to be honest. I mean, I know that you can't be this nice all the time. It's just not possible. But so far, so good, man. And this is what Southern hospitality is all about. We are really excited to come and be a part of this community. Nathan and I actually joked. We had a little visit here a couple of weeks ago, and we were just driving through the town. And as people were walking, they were walking their dogs, they're waving to us. You know, we're in the car driving, they're just waving. We're like, what? These people are waving to us as we're driving along. This is our new home. This is amazing. So we are super excited to join this community. I do want to thank my husband, Nathan. This is a big transition for us and our family, and he has been so supportive and just a cheerleader along the way, so thank you. And thank you for moving up from the back. So you're not Nate in the back anymore. So this is great. So and he is a dedicated community member. You're going to love him. So thank you. And most of all, thanks to the faculty, staff, and students who are here this morning. You are the heart and soul of Oxford College, and you are why I am here. So thank you. I feel incredibly fortunate to be standing here today. This is the start of an exciting new adventure. And if I'm honest, I knew that this was a great fit for me the minute that I read that position spec. You really had me at flourishing. And then, of course, when I had the opportunity to visit, Oxford was even better in person than it was on paper. So it is a special place indeed. And I keep hearing that over and over, and I'm like, does everyone feel that way? But you do, and it's so authentic, and it's coming from the heart, and I can see that. And I look forward to just learning more about this community and also your commitments to this community. At this stage of my career, mission alignment is more important to me than anything else. And Oxford's values and mission parallel my own, and that is to care for every individual and to help students flourish and thrive. And I have already enjoyed meeting some of the students who are here today. And I look forward to learning more about you in the weeks and months to come. You do that with a unique and experiential liberal arts-focused curriculum and a very strong teacher-scholar model, all supported by dedicated staff and alumni. I also admire and hope to expand Oxford College's already strong commitments to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. As Provost Belankanda mentioned, my academic research intersects African American studies and positive psychology. So that's basically the study of human flourishing. So talk about a great fit. But concepts like thriving, flourishing, joy, pleasure, happiness, those are so important to me as a teacher, as a scholar, as a mentor, and certainly as an administrator. I believe that academic rigor and exploration can only be fully realized in an environment that cultivates well-being, resilience, and respect for the whole person. In my work at Loyola, as an academic consultant and a former faculty development coach, I've demonstrated a strong investment in and commitment to faculty success. Attention to professional development is not only critical for faculty success and wellness, but when faculty and staff thrive, colleges and universities thrive. So I look forward to working with all of you to help faculty and staff flourish along with our students. I also believe in the fundamental value of a liberal arts education. At its core, the liberal arts afford students the practical means by which they can achieve their goals, but also that deep sense of social character and responsibility that will positively transform their lives and the lives of others. In a broader sense, a liberal arts education is the foundation of an equitable and ethical society. By focusing exclusively on Emory students' first 2 years of college, Oxford is already one of the most innovative liberal arts colleges in the world. And I've often said to people, I find that Oxford is peerless, truly. From the Milestone program, discovery seminars, and I actually had a chance to look at the discovery seminars that are being offered this fall. And like President Fenves said, I wish I could do it all over again because I want to take about 10 of those courses. I also want to meet the professor who's teaching the one on authenticity because I need that syllabus. I want the reading list for myself. Experiential learning opportunities, community-based learning, all the wonderful things that you do here, especially mentored research. And it was nice to see before we even made our way into the building, I met a student and a faculty member who were doing research together. And I said, wow, this is what this place is all about. So Oxford offers a truly distinctive experience that is attracting record numbers of talented, bright, curious, and engaged students. In addition to offering those students a strong liberal arts education, we have to ensure that they are fully supported in their transition to the Atlanta campus and to the sometimes scary, but also exciting and challenging world beyond. And I've been told that a disproportionate number of leaders on the Atlanta campus are Oxford grads, so that's something really to be proud of. But there is more work ahead. One of my top priorities is going to be to work with Dean Kristen Bonney to develop our Center for Pathways and Purpose, and we'll explore and develop students' potential, both personally and professionally, through the activities in that center, so that's very exciting. I'm also excited about the new Goizeta at Oxford program, which will help sophomores obtain parallel coursework to students in Atlanta, as well as benefit from Oxford-focused programming and experiential learning. And a lot of people ask me, what are you going to do when you get started? What is your first 90 days going to look like? And I've always said I want to listen and learn. And I've already gotten a few good history lessons, even in the short time that I've been here today, so I'm looking forward to hearing more. But I really want to listen and learn more from our students, our faculty, staff, partners in Atlanta, and our friends in the community. I also look forward to partnering with our Board of Counselors and our strong alumni community to benefit from your insight, perspective, and institutional knowledge as I learn to call this place home. Oxford is a small school in a welcoming small town with big ideas and your very own ambition and heart. You are a part of one of the greatest research universities in the world, but you have your own unique culture, rich traditions, and plentiful opportunities. You have exceptionally committed alumni, and I've had the privilege of meeting a few who are certainly very passionate and committed, and they have a lifelong love for the college. And they're also leaders in service across the globe. And you have the great advantage of being part of an institution that sees itself as one Emory, an institution drawn together by a shared purpose and a common commitment to pursue knowledge and service to society. I firmly believe that a good liberal arts education is an invitation to wonderment. At its best, A good liberal arts curriculum encourages creativity and curiosity, academic excellence and imaginative play, self-discovery, and service to others. Flourishing is at the center of the liberal arts project and intimately connected to its past, its present, and its future. And if we think about, what is a liberal arts education for, we might find that it is a model of the future that we want to inhabit. And I can't wait to be a part of envisioning and creating this future with all of you. Thank you.
Please join me again in welcoming Dr. Ahad and Nate Lagarde. In her remarks, you have gotten a sneak peek of the future and the bright future that Oxford has. So she begins August 1, as President Fenves said, and we're looking forward to your helping leading us and also joining the senior leadership team at Emory as a whole. Your voice is very valued and will add a lot to us. I was asked to request that the faculty and staff, we're concluding this part of the program, who are going to interact with Dr. Ahad in the next session, reserve their personal greetings to that time to allow others to mingle with her at this time as we conclude this program. So please, there's a lot of food in the back, coffee's still warm, so let's mingle for a few time. Those of you who are not going to be in the next session, please feel free to say hello to Dr. Ahad and to Nate to welcome them to our community. But thank you all for the support that you provide. The thing that makes Oxford special is all of its people, and it just warms my heart to see this room. So let us all do our best to work with Dr. Ahad so that Oxford can realize its full potential in the future. Thank you all for everything that you do.